In September of 1863, a horrific event transpired in the remote mountains of West Virginia, leaving a legacy of trauma and secrecy. During what was meant to be Martha Carver's celebratory wedding night, 4 individuals were brutally killed in a ritualistic massacre that local officials subsequently worked to conceal. For more than 150 years, the facts of that September evening were hidden away in classified county documents, sealed testimonies, and the haunted recollections of a family that operated one of the largest illegal arms trafficking networks of the Civil War. The truth of what happened challenges our understanding of the moral limits families were willing to cross during the nation's most divided period. The Carver family's wedding custom was not merely unusual, it was lethal. Evidence implies that similar rituals may have been performed in multiple states throughout the 1860s. The Carver compound was located in what is now Pocahontas County, West Virginia, a region ideal for smuggling due to its rugged terrain and recent, violent secession from Virginia. The family business was run by 9 siblings: Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Caleb, Silas, Abraham, Martha, Rebecca, Judith, and Sarah. They managed a vast operation using caves and abandoned mines to move weapons, which they sold to both Union and Confederate forces without political allegiance, motivated solely by profit. Their compound included a large stone main house and extensive underground storage chambers. By 1863, the family was immensely wealthy and powerful but also deeply paranoid. Martha's marriage to Confederate Colonel Bradford Sinclair was a business arrangement to secure military connections and protection. Other guests included Thomas Hartwell, a corrupt federal arms inspector, and Dr. Marcus Finch, the family physician who kept their secrets and supplied them with drugs. After the wedding ceremony, the remaining guests were invited to participate in a sacred covenant ritual in an underground chamber. Presented as an quaint folk tradition, it involved drinking mountain wine, a potent brew prepared by Dr. Finch containing opium, hallucinogenic mushrooms, and herbs. The drug induced a state of euphoria, suggestibility, and blurred consciousness. Under the influence, the ritual turned dark. Ezekiel Carver demanded confessions, and the drug made it impossible for attendees to lie. Hartwell admitted to informing Union officials, Sinclair confessed his plan to gather evidence against the family, and Dr. Finch revealed he had documented their crimes. Even family members admitted to secret betrayals and resentments. This cascade of revelations, amplified by the drug, created an atmosphere of extreme paranoia and violence. Jeremiah Carver, the most volatile sibling, initiated the bloodshed by bludgeoning Hartwell to death. This triggered a frenzy. Martha stabbed her new husband, Sinclair, and the other brothers killed Dr. Finch. Sinclair, mortally wounded, managed to draw his sword and injure Judith before being overpowered. 4 people lay dead. At dawn, the surviving Carvers faced the task of covering up the massacre. They disposed of the bodies in mines and caves using quicklime to accelerate decomposition. They staged evidence to suggest Colonel Sinclair had deserted, and Martha played the role of an abandoned bride convincingly. They scrubbed the ritual chamber, destroyed the table, and melted the silver cups. In the aftermath, the family was consumed by paranoia and distrust. Jeremiah suffered severe psychological damage, Martha became obsessed with her husband's ghost, and their business suffered as they refused deals out of suspicion. Their downfall was hastened by the investigation into Hartwell's disappearance, led by relentless Union Captain William Sterling. Facing arrest, the Carvers planned the final covenant, a controlled explosion to destroy their compound and cover their escape to Mexico. However, Jeremiah, having completely broken down, was found dead in the ritual chamber, having carved the victims' names into his own flesh. Forced to accelerate their plan, the remaining siblings triggered the blast on August 16, 1864, which was heard for miles. Captain Sterling's investigation of the ruins found human remains predating the explosion and Jeremiah's ritualistically marked body, suggesting long-term murderous practices. However, no bodies of the other Carvers were found, leading Sterling to suspect they had faked their deaths and escaped. 5 siblings did indeed reach Mexico, but their trauma followed them. They turned on each other. Sarah was poisoned, Rebecca disappeared and was presumed murdered, and Martha lived out her days in a convent, tormented by guilt. Only Abraham appeared to succeed, becoming a respected rancher and legislator in Arizona. However, his private journals, discovered after his death, confessed that the Wedding Night Massacre was not an isolated event and detailed a network of similar ritualistic crimes among Appalachian families during the Civil War. The story resurfaced in 1923 when miners rediscovered a preserved section of the underground chambers, uncovering bones, ritual objects, and a lockbox containing records of the Carvers' crimes. This sparked a national media frenzy and a new investigation, which suggested the Carvers were part of a larger criminal network. A final deathbed confession in 1889, from a man claiming to be Thomas Hartwell's son, alleged that Abraham Carver had not reformed but had instead established a sophisticated criminal organization in the Southwest, continuing the ritualistic practices and teaching them to other families, creating a lasting network of corruption and violence. The legacy of the Carver family is a dark chapter in American history, suggesting that their methods of drug-induced control, ritual murder, and systemic corruption may have pioneered techniques that influenced organized crime for generations. Their story remains a buried testament to the evil that can fester under the cover of war and respectability.